Welcome to the Sold Too Early Sports Card Podcast, tipping waitresses with sports cards since 2019. That's Kai. I'm buying eggs, 80% of comps, and welcome to episode 16 of the Sold Too Early Sports Card Podcast. Kai, how the hell are you doing?
I'm doing good. Busy with a lot of things. I'm sure you are too, but it's always fun to hop on here for an hour.
Dude, this is great. I like how we have it scheduled. I like how we've kind of like really started to hit our stride. I think you and I both thought the last episode was like really like a great, like comprehensive, like tight hour of content.
Yep.
And we're growing. We're starting to see some serious like audience growth. Like I remember a month or two ago being excited that we had 50 to 75 viewers. We're close to like 125 to 150 across Facebook and YouTube and all these other platforms. It's really actually super exciting where we are right now.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I'm sure we've probably grown episode over episode, I would guess. I mean,
We really
especially
truly are,
yeah.
which is the best news you could
Yeah.
ever imagine. So, what's on your mind, Kyle? We'll kind of start with you, and then we'll jump into my stuff.
Nothing really out of the ordinary this week. I've been card wise, I've been kind of more so focusing on bulk buying and more so like $10 to $500 range, and grading, selling the raw stuff. Kind of just cycling through and stuff like that. But I think it's been a little more fun, kind of like going back to the roots of what I used to do, rather than flipping $5,000 cards into lower inventory. Kind of what
I
you do.
I mean, okay, you're saying like I flip 5,000 cards every single day, which I wish.
Well,
The thing
you
is,
respectively.
respect,
I feel like.
every now and again, you're right. But as you step into the higher end world, it comes in waves. So there will be days where I don't make a single sale or trade, which is completely normal. Like I'm okay with having days where I don't do much on Instagram. I have other responsibilities in my life, but there are days where I'll move literally $20,000 to $25,000 worth of stuff like instantaneously. It's so weird. There is a balance to it all. Like honestly, you have a little more free time than I do. So like having that ability to move the bulk $10 to $500 items, I'm kind of jealous of. Like I like the fact you're able to do that because you know what, your profit margins on those are gonna be higher than mine on the higher end. But both ways work if you look at it like a business and you're able to put the time into it.
The thing I really like about it also is sort of what you were saying about how it kind of comes in waves. For this, what I've seen, at least in the last couple of weeks of kind of focusing on this, is I can go ahead and list everything on eBay whenever I get it in, like once or twice a week. I send what I have to COMC, I send what I have to consignment, and it sort of kind of just rolls in every day, like a little by little. I'm never like having a day where like pretty much I'm not selling anything, if that makes
Good.
sense.
It's super exciting. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. My desk is messy with lower end items right now, but I strongly prefer the higher end stuff. I'd rather work
Yeah,
smarter than harder. But
yeah.
once again, there's a million different ways to kind of do all this. It just depends on your effort and ability to want to do it. So
But besides that, just NFL playoffs were great. I'm sure we'll talk about that in a little bit. But what are you
yeah,
up to?
we have that noted, dude. This was a great week of playoffs. I mean, Giants excluded because I knew they were going to get curb stomped, but I was really excited about the slate of games and where we're heading. Like, this is going to be a great conference championship,
Really good.
dude. I really want the 49ers to win. Like, I'm a Giants fan, but like, I love the Brock Purdy story. Let's ignore the fact that I have the Spectra case that I need to move. But I really do love the Brock Purdy story. I think if you're like a fan of a team that's eliminated, you're probably rooting for the Niners. So I guess I'm kind of a follower in that way.
I'm actually going Bengals, I think, right now as
Bengals is no, you know what? Bengals are very
yeah,
likable too. Chiefs are likable. Fuck the Eagles. I mean, I think that's a fair criticism
yeah.
from a Giants
Division
fan.
rivalry. Fair, yeah.
But I every team in this playoff still, except for the Eagles, are likable for one reason or another. Like, listen, Joe Burrow is probably the coolest player in football these days. He's at least top five, right? He just like that
Yeah.
swag is very true, and he's been able to back it up. So
I feel like the Chiefs are kind of trending towards being a little bit Patriot unlikable like.
I don't. I mean, I get it. I think because they're just so good, you like want to root
Yeah.
against them. But I don't know. It's really hard to not like Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, just in the sense of like they win and they make it every year now.
I mean, what, this is their fifth or sixth
Fifth,
break?
yeah, fifth straight, I think.
I mean, the Bengals got them last year, so I don't know. Listen, the AFC is so incredible with young quarterback talent. It's a little scary.
Yeah. What are you up to?
So what's on my mind? So got to prep for a 3-day local show here in New Jersey next week. Ironically enough, like I can basically see the show from my apartment, which is super
Oh
funny.
wow.
I know. I mean, not literally, but like it's a mile away, if even. So, just kind of wild. Super excited for that. Got to get some inventory in soon or now at this rate. Yeah, just busy with my 9 to 5 job as well. I would be heading to Atlanta possibly, but let's call it a combination of work and other responsibilities, and just the fact that it is what it is. Um, what's also on my mind, and Kai, I think you might be offended by this. Not really. There are some very weird obsessions and like weird love that some people have for certain athletes or teams that like there is
What are
a
you
difference in
saying?
fandom. You can love a team and be a fan of them. And I think we all are as sports fans and like people who invest money in players and teams and all this good stuff. But there is a line of like very weird interest and love of a certain player or team that kind of borders on like not healthy. I'm
Yeah.
not sure how to describe it exactly, but what I will say is that you have to remember at the end of the day, most athletes, 99.98% of athletes, do not know that we exist. They don't give a fuck about us. And that's completely fine. At the end of the day, we're benefiting financially or entertainment wise, all this good stuff. But like, let's back it up a little bit. These people do not know we exist, and that's fine. Don't go simping for them on the internet. It makes you look like a weirdo. And I don't get it.
I think sort of related, but I don't know if you've seen any of the videos of people that are like invested in these like quarterbacks and watching the playoff game stuff. Like an example of like when Herbert lost and them freaking the fuck out after having like 50K in NTs.
Dude,
Like
I love those videos. I'll be honest, the
I
best
do
ones are
too.
the cowboy ones. Made me very happy. Obviously, as a Giants
Yeah.
fan, but also for the fact like they love to break their TVs. I don't
Oh
get
yeah.
it because you have to replace it anyway. So my point is about sports cards, but also sports in general. Like, okay, cool, you broke your TV. You gotta go buy a new one, my guy. Like, I
With
get it.
your loss on your card.
Yeah, you already double lost, whether you're a fan or
Yeah.
sports trading cards or
Yeah.
gambling, whatever. Like you just keep on screwing
You're
yourself.
just digging a
So
bigger hole.
yeah, literally, I just don't get it. I love the Yankees. I love the Giants. Maybe I'm a little more jaded than I used to be, but like as I've stepped into the sports core world and got a little bit higher end, I care less about the individual teams and players. I care what benefits either me financially or like what's entertaining. I can go watch a random baseball game or football game or basketball game and be pretty much fulfilled as opposed to if it was a Yankee game or a Giant game or Nets game. Like I don't. It doesn't matter as much anymore to me.
I'm kind of trending that way too. Besides Falcons, they'll always be my
It's a little sad.
super
I'll call it
bias,
out.
but
It is a little
yeah.
sad the way I feel about it, but you know what? It's honestly kind of true though. Like,
I think for me, it's kind of trending that way mostly for basketball. Like I can sit there and just watch like any game and be like, fine.
oh,
Like
dude,
I don't
basketball is
even have
great
to.
to have in the background. I
Yeah,
love it.
I don't have to be like obsessed with the Hawks game when they're mid. I can just be watching whatever I want and be
Have you
fine.
seen Have you seen rumors that Trey Young and the front office are like not happy with each other?
Dave, you're like 2 months late.
Of course I am, dude. But like, nothing's
That's so
happened, so it
fake
doesn't
too.
matter.
That's so fake.
You think it's fake?
Yeah, they're not even gonna trade John Collins either.
Really? What the fuck? Why?
Yeah, it's all smoke. Nothing's gonna happen.
Do you think it's just like someone in the front office just leaking it to like put pressure on him, or I'm just
I mean,
curious.
we kind of sucked for a little stretch because everyone was hurt. So I mean, it's fair enough for fans and people to guess that there was turmoil, but that there's just all smoke. Nothing's gonna happen.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I guess a weird segue into the NFL playoffs. I was just curious about that because I
Oh, you're good.
saw.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was just
that's
curious.
fair enough to ask.
So
Yeah.
let's talk about this for a couple minutes here. Divisional round. dude, Giants got smoked. What was it, like 38 to
It was
7?
bad. Yeah,
No one listen, I even bet on the Eagles to win the game. Like I knew no matter what, whether I was either gonna either financially be happy or like emotionally be happy. Like fuck it. I
best
bet
way to
the
do it.
that's the way to do it. I bet the under on points for the Eagles. I bet 38 and a half points. And I bet the
No
money
way.
line. I swear to God, I could show you the receipt
Wow.
after this. I didn't win.
Wait,
I won like
points for it was points just for the Eagles. I
it
didn't
was
even
just
have to
points
do
for the
that.
Eagles. Yeah, I bet 35 and a half or 38 and a half.
Damn.
So I won $60, dude. I bet $100 to win 160. So like it didn't matter, but it was like, fuck it. I'm gonna be happy either pay for dinner or hey, holy shit, my team won. And okay, I paid for dinner.
Yeah.
Gonna be interesting to see what the Giants do this offseason. A lot of question marks. Jones went from playing probably his best game as a pro to just a straight up bad one. Probably cost himself a lot of money if they did try to extend him. I think he plays under the franchise tag next year. I still would not buy Daniel Jones card right now. He played fine this year as a player, but like I don't know if he's the guy. And I've said this now for a couple months. I just don't. I'm not sure. I'm very whelmed by how he played.
I think this offseason's going to have probably the most turnover league wide, whether it's coaches, coordinators, rosters, big players. I think it's going to have the most turnover we've seen like ever.
I mean I agree with you. I could definitely
Yeah.
see. I think you have to pay Saquon Barkley whatever he wants, which is unfortunate. But like you worry about that later. Like unfortunately, he's gonna get
He rejected like 12 mil a year, I think.
he's gonna get 15 to 17.5,
That's
whatever it's gonna
crazy.
be. Dude, like what are you supposed to do if you don't sign
Not
him? You're
pay him.
fucked. Yeah.
Draft Bijan Robinson.
No, you can't do that either. That's dumb.
You definitely
We
can.
you definitely can. You shouldn't, but you really like. Dude, you can find so many running backs like in the third to like seventh round. It doesn't matter. I mean, obviously, if it was that easy, anyone would do it. But like, you do see pretty good running backs go middle to late rounds pretty often. So you don't need to spend a second overall pick on Saquon Barkley. And oh well, revisionist history would say that they should have taken the Jets offer or the Colts offer. It was one of the two. They made the trade with each other, but basically the Colts got a bunch of. I'm trying to remember the deal. It was
I
like
don't know what you're talking about.
basically in 2019 or 2018, whenever Sam Darnold got drafted, the Jets moved up, I believe, or I forget it. I'm trying to. Basically, the point is someone got a trade. I think the Jets got a trade for a bunch of picks, or the Colts did. And they got like Quinn Nelson and all this shit, and the Giants drafted Saquon. We're stupid. Bottom line, should have taken a trade in like 3 or 4 years ago, but Dave Gettleman's a bastard, man. Don't mind me. Just
Fair enough.
rambling as a angry Giants fan still all these years later. Speaking of someone who is also probably still rambling and very angry, Josh Allen collectors. Dude, his prices are
Oh man.
going to crash, and they already are. It is
Yeah.
shocking how much they've dropped in just a short period of time.
Yeah, I can definitely see it. I mean, his prices have had a Super Bowl baked into them for like 3 seasons now.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, with them losing in the first round technically, but I mean, it's just not a good look. Plus, this is probably the best team they're gonna have for a while. They have like no cap space. They got to pay all their dudes. Like
Yep, his
they're
cap has gone
losing
from like
players.
18 to
They're losing
40
both
million
their
or something.
safeties. I think. Yeah, they're not looking very good.
Yeah. I mean,
So
are you catching the falling knife if you try and buy him right now? Are you buying the low? I was offered a
I
Josh Allen.
wouldn't.
I was offered a Josh Allen NTRP before the game. I said no. I was not buying that no matter what happened. Now it was offered to me at what did the BGS 910 went for
Oh
72K like
yeah,
3 or 4 months ago, and that's at 25.
yeah,
I
damn.
wouldn't touch an NTRPA for a little while. But I'll tell you one thing though, hype will outsell production, and those will move in Chicago at the National. And it's crazy to me that we are beginning to think about it like this because it's January, the season's still going, but the best time to move shit is before the next start of the season. You sell into the hype and you worry about it later.
I think Herbert and Allen are gonna start to fall in that territory where it's like they don't get that insane hype before the season and just kind of trickles up a little bit. I don't think they're gonna get that insane hype anymore based on what's happened.
I mean, dude, the dynamic has shifted so much because the sports card hype and the sports card market pre 2018 even like doesn't matter anymore. Like if you look at the scope of like all these players and these quarterbacks especially, we're seeing this stage of time where the past market no longer applies anymore. Like you can't go back 5 years now and compare like what Brady prices were or Rodgers or any of the better quarterbacks at that period of time. You have to look at the now and what people were paying for boxes in 2019, 2020, 2021 and so on and their initial releases and this hype because you're going to see this weird dynamic coming of like why are these quarterbacks still outselling one another when it just doesn't matter anymore? Like all this hype regarding all this young talent, especially in the AFC, is going to catch up at some point. It's going to end up resulting in a total crash of the high end quarterback stuff. But for the moment, just got to enjoy it and try and buy opportunities when you see it.
I think it's going to be a little different next season as well because we have a pretty good quarterback class coming in the draft, like one of the better ones we've had in a while.
We say that though, but like every quarterback, every draft seems to have like a generational talent quarterback, except for last year. But like maybe Brock Purdy was that generational quarterback. Who fucking knows?
This draft's interesting because you have Stroud and Bryce Young at the top, who are both supposed to be like generational, but then you also have two dudes who are like really Will Levis and Anthony Richardson, who are like really like could be insane that people are going to spend a shit ton of money on and hope they pan out.
Well, hype outsells production. So exactly. They're gonna see isn't Anthony Richardson like the one who's like crazy stupid athletic?
Yeah, but he's really bad. But he's really athletic. He's like Josh Allen light if Josh Allen was black and faster.
Okay, great. Yeah. Sold. I'll buy him for $50,000 before he even touches the ball.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what's going to happen, but I don't think it's going to work. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with them. I'm just saying, like, I think this year is going to look a lot different quarterback pricing wise than last year because people were mostly focused on like vets and stuff. But
I mean, we're gonna worry about this in a year, Kai. We're gonna be worrying about this in about a year and a half when like good products come out. Like we're at the end of the season, and Spectra is the best product for quarterbacks right now. So you should buy my Spectra first off the line, case fuckers.
Really quickly, totally unrelated, but I saw a really good comp, in my opinion, of Justin Herbert to Matt Ryan.
Okay, go on. I'll let you go on this tangent.
No, it's not really a tangent. I just thought it was really accurate. I don't know what you think, but I feel like they're both going to compile a lot of stuff. Well, Matt Ryan already has, but I think he's going to compile a lot of stats, probably win one MVP, make a couple playoff runs, but I don't think he'll be like Brady.
I mean, once again, that's not an insult to Justin Herbert.
Matt Ryan, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So obviously, you're a Falcons fan. You think Matt Ryan's gonna be a Hall of Famer. We've had this conversation before. For Matt Ryan to make the Hall of Fame, Phil Rivers has to make the Hall of Fame. And
disagree.
I disagree with your disagreeing.
Phil Rivers is the most stat-heavy player who hasn't done anything.
But that's exactly the difference between Matt Ryan and Phil Rivers is that one MVP. So if
MVP,
Phil Rivers gets
playoff success, a Super Bowl appearance,
the worst playoff loss of all time, the worst regular season loss of all time.
At least he made it.
Of course he made it, but that's exactly it. Like, and thank you for the point, Kai. If Phil Rivers makes the Hall of Fame, Matt Ryan will make the Hall of Fame. If Phil Rivers doesn't, Matt Ryan will be the new barometer of like how long is it going to take for this guy to make it in. No matter what, Phil Rivers is not making it first ballot. No one's having that conversation. So, like, is it going to be 5 years? Is it going to be 10 years? Like, even you as a homer, you can't say Matt Ryan's a first ballot Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah, he is.
No, shut the fuck up. You're wrong.
I think that whole group of like him, Rivers. Well, I really don't think Rivers will make it at all, but I think Ryan, Manning, Big Ben, Eli Manning, obviously. I think that whole group will get in pretty easily.
I mean, Eli Manning is going to be, if not a first ballot Hall of Famer, which is debatable.
But the thing with Eli Manning is he was so bad.
No, the debate about Eli Manning is he a first ballot Hall of Famer or second or third ballot?
He's going to make it.
Of course. 100% Eli Manning makes the Hall of Fame. I don't know if he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think it might be like his second or third round. As a Giants fan, I mean, I would like to see him be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't think it really matters. But like even T.O. was not a first ballot Hall of Famer because they were being dicks when they were trying to elect him, and he just did his own thing, so they didn't vote for him. They're petty. So like I think Eli gets in first ballot. It doesn't really matter. It might be second. But the point of conversation that I'm trying to get to is Phil Rivers, if he does not make the Hall of Fame, Matt Ryan becomes the guy, like the new barometer of like this quarterback stats in this new era plus also now 17 games and all this other good stuff. It'll be interesting. That's what I'm trying to say.
Something else crazy was I was watching something and they were showing the season Peyton Manning had where he like broke all the records and stuff.
With the
And
Broncos,
no one's like come close to any of those records in the last 2 seasons with 17 games.
I mean, Peyton Manning was one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Like,
But isn't that just
so
crazy though? Even with an extra game, no one's even come close yet.
it's tough. Did Mahomes play all 17 games this year?
I'm not sure he put up. He was decently close to Manning, but he still wasn't close. I don't think.
I think Mahomes missed a game. Why am I thinking of that?
I think he missed a game last year, but I could be wrong.
I'm checking Pro Football Reference. No, he played all 17 games. He had 41 touchdowns. The last 2 years, he's played 17 games. All right, so I'm not sure why I'm thinking that he missed a game.
He missed a playoff game last year, I think.
No, that he got hurt and then Chad Henne came in. That's what happened.
Well, that happened this weekend.
Well, it happened twice. It happened last year, too.
Oh, did it really? I don't
Yeah.
remember. Oh, yeah, okay.
Basically, dude, all our memories are fucking convoluted and messy. The point doesn't matter. Yeah, even in 17 games, Mahomes had 41 touchdowns, which led the league, and 12 picks. So,
yeah.
But then also in 2018, in 16 games, he had 50. So, like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. kind of weird that his not rookie year, technically, but
basically
his first year starting. Yeah.
Didn't he win MVP that year?
He did.
Or was it the next year he won?
He won MVP that year. He's probably going to win
That's
this
crazy.
year. Too.
The first year as a quarterback, you win MVP.
I mean, I think Mahomes gets it the second time too. Like,
I agree. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, basically his rookie year. Has anyone ever won a rookie MVP? Like real?
I'm not going to Google it. I'm sure someone could tell us.
I know you're not. I'm just was throwing it out there. Rhetorical.
I'm sure someone in like the 50s or something could have done that back when there was like 4 teams and like 5 people on the field knowing how to play.
Well, we're on this random tangent. You know what's crazy? Do you think Steve Smith should be a Hall of Famer?
Wide receivers are so tough. Without knowing the stats in front of me, I'd like to see how he compares to like someone like Andre Johnson.
Andre's my favorite guy.
Dude, Andre was so fucking good.
I draft him every year in fantasy.
Yeah, he was he was the best. So without knowing the stats in front of me, I'd need to see like
stats. Hold on.
Him against his peers. Did Torrey Holt make the Hall of Fame? Like there's some like
I know. I think he was on the list again this year.
There were some very good wide receivers from like that early 2000s to like 2010s.
So good.
2015, let's say, that like Steve Smith, you could tell me he's a Hall of Famer. I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. He was dominant on the Panthers. He was a G for the Ravens for a little bit.
So he's number 8 all time in receiving yards.
Who? Torrey Holt, Andrew Johnson, or
Steve Smith?
Okay. I mean, that's a good start to being a Hall of Famer.
And then touchdowns. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that like wide receiver is such a competitive position to be at for a Hall of Fame discussion. So yeah, I without
touchdowns,
knowing
he's 30th. So I mean,
okay, so that's fine. It's tough. I want to say probably makes it like 5 to 10 years after being on the ballot.
Well, he's on the first year this year, but he didn't make it. That's my point.
So there you go. Exactly. So already it'll be a conversation that comes up, but like this entire like weird 10 to 15 years of NFL history right here, it's going to be super interesting to see how stats compiled affects players because Steve Smith, if you saw him play, was one of the best wide receivers on the field at any given moment and would talk so much shit and back it up. So when you come to the end of these guys' careers of these young players who are going to be very good, how are they going to rank all time against their peers who might wait 5 to 10 years to be on the ballot, if ever, actually make it to the Hall of Fame? So just something interesting.
You've guys like Jamal Charles, Chris Johnson.
Matt fucking love Jamal Charles.
Arian Foster.
That Foster just peaked too early.
Like you have all those dudes, and it's like if your running back you draft turns out to be them, like you hit a home run, but they're not even going to probably make the Hall of Fame.
Well, don't even look at their car prices then, dude. That's the
exactly.
That's the shame of it all.
Yeah, Andre Johnson rookie autos are like $50.
It's going to be once again. This ties back to that conversation. The point of like look at these quarterbacks from like 5 to 10 years ago, and like look at their prices now, and then compare it to Herbert, Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence, all these guys. And they should hope to have a career like a Matt Ryan, where they are
Exactly. Yeah.
on the border, possibly a Hall of Famer, but at least, at their peak was the greatest player in the league, leading their team to a Super Bowl. Like that is the expectation or higher now of these guys, and they're not going to do it. Like there's a real conversation that and I think I made this point 1 or 2 weeks ago. I'm not exactly sure, but one of these guys is going to be a bust or just like an average quarterback. Tua, Herbert, Mahomes, not Mahomes. Tua, Herbert, Justin Fields, Daniel Jones. Well, Zach Wilson's bad, so he doesn't count. Mac Jones, Trey Lance, all of these young quarterbacks who haven't done anything in the NFL yet, or have some playoff success but then fucked up and sucked at the moment of need. One of them's going to be average to bad. So
I mean, I would imagine most of them are average to bad eventually.
Well, eventually, yeah. I'm not calling Herbert in the same class as Trey Lance, but the point I'm trying to make is their prices are not going to hold up long term anyway, and they end up being average or good, and they're as good as a peer of Donovan McNabb or Tony Romo or who's another good quarterback for a while, Derek Carr even. I don't know.
Yeah.
The point is
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler was so fucking funny. We're just not going to get to any other just by old dudes who played sports. Do you do that ever off?
So often. Often.
That is one of my favorite things to do. Is hey, you remember X, Y, and Z baseball players?
Fred Jackson.
Dude, I loved Fred Jackson. Well, also Marshawn Lynch, my favorite player of all time. Yeah. So him, Vincent Jackson, all those guys.
Jordy Nelson was my favorite.
Well, that's not even that old, but the best is
what do you mean?
Well, that Jordy Nelson retired what?
He was a rookie the same year as Matt Ryan.
Oh shit! But he retired
2008.
He retired 2019?
2 or 3 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, I know he got was he on the Raiders for a minute or two?
Yeah, he should have just retired. That was a shit show.
2018, yeah, he played 1 year for the Raiders. We could do this. Could be an entire 3-hour podcast. We just talk about old dudes to remember. The best is doing it with baseball. Hey, remember Milton Bradley? It's who the fuck is Milton Bradley?
Sizemore.
Great, dude, Grady Sizemore was so good. This should we should make a segment out of this. Hey, remember that guy?
We'll do a 1-minute speed round of how many mid to above average athletes from the early 2000s you can name.
Oh my god, dude, I could do this for days. Dontrell Willis.
Oh.
Dude, the D-Train, the best guy ever, the best nickname ever.
Julio Teheran.
Julio Teheran is not early 2000s, but yes.
Yeah, early 2010s.
Ching-Ming Wong, if we're going to go on that route too for pitchers.
Yeah. Shin-Soo Choo.
Shin-Soo Choo was good. I think he is still playing in Korea, actually, which is funny.
Oh, wow.
He might be. He's fucking. Oh, speaking of older players, Kosuke Fukudome on the Cubs was still playing as of last year. I know that.
What? Not MLB,
he was
right?
42. He was playing in Japan, I think, or Korea. He was just an old dude just hanging out. It was
Troy Tulowitzki was one of my favorites.
Tulo making the Yankees and playing and hitting 1 home run was very cool. And then he retired. He was just happy to be a Yankee for 20 minutes. All right, we're never gonna get to basketball to keep this up. All right, let's go through some NBA talk.
Roy Hibbert,
yes, also a player that this is a fucking segue for you, Kai. Player that you would forget even existed anymore in the NBA. Jonathan Isaac somehow managed to get back to the court. What a fucking segue that is, Kai. After 900 days, he in fact still exists and is an NBA player and played 10 or 20 minutes yesterday.
He did good.
No, he's. I mean,
No, he did good. No, he did. He played 10 points, couple rebounds, couple assists, a block, I think.
For 10 minutes, yeah. All right, that's what I thought.
That's good.
Yeah, all right, fine. I'll give you that.
I wanted the Hawks to trade for him so bad.
I'm really truly surprised he still exists.
He's good.
Been on for 3 years.
He's a really good player.
I don't think you could say that anymore. I think you can just say he is a player. You don't know if he's good or not.
He's
anymore.
A good player. He's good.
It's been 10 minutes. Literally.
He's good.
Okay.
He stays healthy. He's good.
Yeah, well, that's the trick. Is he healthy?
All right, continue.
Rui Hachimura went to the Lakers. I guess we're starting to enter trade season for the NBA. I guess this is their big acquisition until they trade one of their first round picks.
Pretty big deal, yeah.
Yeah, of course. dude, I do not remember the last time I even saw a Rui Hachimura card.
I do like Rui though. I think he'll be a good role player for them.
That's fine. Yeah, just can
He
he?
casually drops like 30 points every once in a while too.
I mean, he dropped 31. He dropped 30 and then got traded. So there you go. You're
Yeah.
literally right.
I like Denny Avdia too. I
Denny,
remember one of our first episodes. I think I said something about one of my predictions was that Rui would have a good season, but
I mean, he as of right now, he's averaging 13 points on 48% shooting, 33 from deep, 4 rebounds, and an assist. Okay, so I mean, like that's
I thought he
not
was shooting like 40% from three.
no. So what that was, and I know what you're referencing, was in the last 2 seasons he is shooting 40% on catch and shoot threes, not
Oh,
threes
okay.
overall. I know what you're
Yeah.
referencing
Okay.
because
Okay.
I got confused by that too. But yeah, I mean, the Lakers needed shooters, and like that's a pretty decent one, honestly.
They want to extend him too, so we'll see if
Okay,
that
fuck
actually
it. I don't
happens.
care. Go for it. What else is going on? The Pacers might have peaked a little early. They've lost their last 7. They badly need Tyrese Halliburton back.
I mean, do they though? I feel like they should just tank.
I feel kind of bad for them.
I don't. Why
What'd
do
you
you
say?
feel bad for them? Why do you feel bad?
I like Tyrese Halliburton. I think he's a good player. So
Imagine him and Victor
yeah, I mean,
trade Miles Turner for another pick or
wouldn't that
something.
be something? Also, speaking of like guards that I like, but like have not heard of at all, dude. I don't remember the last time I've seen a LaMelo Ball card.
I mean, I see them casually while
I
browsing
just
eBay, but
don't. I don't
it's not like
know,
they're
man.
selling or anything. I mean, they're
I
selling obviously, but they're not like hot.
I don't, dude. I've not seen him like 2 or 3 weeks. Like, am I missing something? Is he just?
I don't know anyone that like. I mean, that I know at least that actually like likes him as a player.
I think he's. I think he's just. He's got to leave Charlotte. I think that might be the issue. They're just
I mean,
bad.
I don't even
And
know if it's that, but he's like not that good.
is he? Is that just
Like,
what it is? Is he just kind of
I
like
mean,
bad,
he's
or
like
like he's just like
mid Trey
whatever?
Young. I feel
Oh my
like.
god! Shut up.
I mean, that's what my comp would be for me. Averages like 18 points a game, like 7 assists. I think. Like, I mean, he's like mid Trey Young. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
can't play
Trey.
defense.
Yeah, but like Trey Young literally can't play defense. Lil is just bad at it.
He only averages 12 more points and 3 more assists.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. Sure.
Okay.
All right, let's get through some other topics. And if we need to fill out some time, we'll just talk about old dudes from the 2000s. Remember? So,
Perfect.
what a segue! All right, some other topics that we were asked about on Instagram, and one was from Rob, sports car therapist, who was on the show a couple weeks ago. And Kai, you haven't been to a show recently, so this is kind of hard for you to mention or talk through. But I've seen a lot more traffic at these card shows, even like smaller ones. We're really starting to see like audience attendance grow and just kind of more active in the hobby in general. Like, I mean, maybe you could speak more to online because like you're doing more of the selling on the lower to mid end stuff, the $100 to $500 stuff. But on the show front, it's been really good. Like, there's a lot of like foot traffic at these shows. I expected Atlanta to be busy. I'm a little jealous I couldn't go, but hopefully the good times roll there. It's the second major show of the year, so it will be a good barometer of like where the market's at.
Yeah, my 2 cents on that since I haven't really been to much lately, but definitely online stuff's picking up, I would say. Whenever I list a car on eBay, I mean, I get at least a couple offers within the first few days. And then remember what Nick was saying when he was on about the feature to send offers to people that are watching your cards.
I do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do that like almost every day, and at least 1 or 2 cards sells like that every day.
But
Like
you're also
from
like
doing
when you're
that.
doing that, you're selling what, like $50, $250
Well,
cards,
yeah,
right?
but yeah, I'm saying that like people are like actually like. I mean, I remember when that first came out, like no one really used that, but I feel like it's like usable now.
It is definitely. I mean, listen, I give eBay a good amount of shit, like rightfully so. I think their authentication process is ass, but it sometimes works. I think for
Yeah,
graded cards, it just is pointless. Like, hey, this is a PSA slabbed card.
yeah.
Okay. I mean, if you're gonna do that, like for quality assurance and like making sure that the thing is not cracked, okay. But what if it gets cracked from eBay's hold to the buyer? What do you do
Well, I mean,
then,
you're
guys?
you're protected, but it's eBay. It's on eBay at that
Oh,
point.
exactly. That's the point. Like, what the fuck? Why
Yeah,
is this happening? Why is
yeah.
this a thing? Just weird, just strange. But I'm excited for major shows. I'm excited for Burbank in 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks, give or take, 2.5 weeks. That'll be fun. I'm excited for my local show coming up. And then I'm gonna start prepping for Q2 ish shows. I'm not sure what to do yet. What is super funny, and this might put a pin in card show attendance, in March, there are 5 major shows the same weekend. The next Dallas show, Philly show, Chantilly show in Virginia, the Mint in Vegas, and the Nashville show. There are 5 major shows the same
There's no
weekend.
way.
I swear to God, Kai. 5 major
That's.
shows the same
I
weekend.
mean, you don't have to communicate when you're gonna book your show, but at least be like, no one would like that. Just that's so bad.
Yeah,
How do you
no,
do that?
it's awful. I'm gonna go to Dallas because Dallas is my favorite show to set
I
up
think
at
most
and go
people
to.
will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I mean, I'll tell you that I already know some East Coast folks who are going to Philly, mostly
Well,
Tyler at
yeah.
Santiago Sports. Like
If
he
you're
loves.
gonna if you're gonna travel like fly or drive decently, like you're gonna go to Dallas over any of those.
Yeah, Dallas, maybe the Mint, because like if you want to be in Vegas, like that's completely
Like that's gonna be
reasonable.
like mostly like corporate people. I feel
I
like.
know, but like, dude, you're in Vegas anyway. You're
Yeah.
gonna have degenerates going to gambling and just like doing whatever
Fair.
and
Yeah.
making a business trip out of it. Dallas is gonna be good. I'm gonna go there. I know my money is gonna go farther there. And I could go to Philly. I mean, Philly's not super far away from me, but like I don't really love it. It was fine the first time I went, but I just like Dallas more, and I might have the ability to have my own table. So let me stick with that.
I feel like one of those YouTubers is gonna try to do a like 3 card shows in 3 days thing.
Maybe they could put 3 bullets in my head instead. Like, please, dude.
Clip
I
of the
just
week.
a little bleak, yeah, I know, but dude, I don't know. There are some influencers who like. Let me make this clear. A lot of influencers are honestly got harmless and like actually nice people in real life. The second the camera goes away, they're like actual human beings. Like you can talk to them, and they're like just people, and they're like playing a bit. They're playing a bit. They're a character. They're playing it up for the YouTube algorithm, the Instagram algorithm, TikTok, whatever. It doesn't matter. I like to imagine that even we're playing a little bit of a character, just a little more of a fun version of ourselves, but like we're not giving waitresses 5 grand in cards or just being kind of
And then awkwardly
weird.
like waiting for them to respond.
Yeah, dude, I've seen some like weird fucking Instagram reels of like just dudes surrounded by cardboard, and there's like a weird sexual tension to it. It's so bizarre. Like, what the fuck is going on with some of these influencers? I hope they're okay. Like, I mean, it's 2023. You can do whatever you want, but like, there's some real like weird sexual undertones sometimes. I'm just like, dude, I'm just here for the cardboard. Can you just like fucking stop? Guy is speechless.
I was just letting you go with that one.
Yeah. No, that's gonna be a good clip. I'm very curious to see the comments on that one on both TikTok and Instagram Reels. I'm in trouble. That's a good one. Please clip that one, Kai.
That'll be clipped.
Thank you. I don't know. I don't have a segue into traveling with my Zion case. I had one
So when
before.
you're going to
Thank you,
Burbank,
Kai.
what are you gonna do with your Zion Goliath case?
Oh man, thank you. What a good segue into my Goliath case. Not sponsored by whatever company makes the Zion cases. They're really fucking good though. So go buy one if you need it. It's my carry-on. So I literally bring my big ass like bag and a backpack, and that's how I travel. And I'm a little bougie when it comes to flying because I hate to fly, and I think that's completely reasonable. So I will only book economy plus or even first class, because if I have to book economy and I have to check my bag, I'm going to rebook my flight, because there is no universe where I'm letting my trading cards be put away in a plane where I am not next to them. So I'm going to just pay the extra couple $100 and either be comfortable on the plane in economy plus, or if it makes sense financially, first class. Like I'm going to be bougie about it. I completely own that. That's like one of the only things that like I will go out of my way to spend more money on, because the other option is to rebook my flight if it's full, or stress out about flying, and I don't want to do it.
Yeah, that's definitely reasonable. I
Yeah,
would
like
do the same thing. Yeah.
It's I mean, I could very easily downsize my collection to not be a Zion case, but like I kind of like it. Like it's pretty easy to bring with me. I'm used to carrying it around. I would honestly probably lose my cards if they weren't in a Goliath case at this rate because I've used it for like 3 years. So
Yeah, you're used to it now.
I am used to it. So unless I'm like going somewhere major, like if I was going to Burbank again for like 5 or 6 days, which I did in August, I would maybe consider not bringing it, but like I did it last time. I just packed more shit in my backpack and just made it work. So I don't know. I really am trying to think of a reason why I would not bring it with me and not just like put it in my overhead and pay more for flying. But
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. Some other stuff. So, and Nick would like this conversation too. He has had some great wins and some great losses here. Why do people prospect? Why are we prospecting on either baseball players or questionable quarterbacks or that young hotshot NBA player? Why are we doing this, Kai?
I think if you're not like constantly flipping it and you're literally just like holding players, I think it's kind of a way to gamble that you can sort of follow along with if you like sports.
Yep.
That's not like actually gambling. But other than that, I do not know why people would prospect. Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I think it's just like the thrill of it, and like the art of the deal and being right and all this good shit. Um, I don't know. I mean, I guess we're all degenerates. I guess you and I both, especially, are when you consider the actual financial side of this. But I don't know. I'm a sore loser, so I don't gamble too often. So maybe I just don't see it like that. I don't know. I think my brain is trying to trick myself into thinking that sports cards are not gambling, even though they realistically really truly are. So
Well,
oops.
I think nowadays, like, I don't even really know how you buy a player and gamble on. I mean, like, the prices are just stupid for like what they're actually at. I mean, unless you're buying and grading and hoping it gets a 10, then holding it, that's a different conversation.
What you're doing in
But
some
I don't,
cases.
yeah, I don't really know how you go and besides like Brock Purdy, which was like crazy, like that's not gonna happen again. But I mean, if you go and buy Kenny Pickett, I mean, are his prices really up anything? I mean, he had a decent rookie year. Like, is that
I
like,
wouldn't even call it a decent rookie. I would call it a bad year. But
yeah,
once
like,
again, dude, we were talking about quarterbacks that possibly have some hype train. He might get a hype train eventually. It might be a tiny like one,
well,
but
if you don't sell off in that period right before the season, like
you're
you're going
fucked.
to be holding forever. Like, it just doesn't make any sense why you would not move it unless you are like a fan of that player or team, I
Which how
guess.
dare
But
you like the Steelers? What's wrong with you? What are you
yeah,
dumb? A fucking
so I mean,
shovel.
I guess it just
Yeah,
doesn't make
damn
sense
you,
to me to
shovel, with
hold.
your
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, fuck you, shovel.
Oh,
Sorry about your MJ that took 3 weeks to ship because alt got silly.
Dave was trying to scam you, but
Did
you
you
had to
do you
give
know
in.
that story that so I won a card for our friend
I know
Shovel.
you bought it for him. I don't
I
know
did.
like what
What's
happened
Shovel's
though.
Instagram name? Because we're already
I
talking
think
about
it's
him.
literally Shovel Sports Cards or something.
Damn it! All right, that's good enough for me. So he asked me to
Okay.
buy an MJ for him on all. It was like a Ultimate Collection patch. It's a beautiful card, 9.5. I won it for him. We made a deal. I actually meet up with him in Dallas, and he shipped me my cards a couple days beforehand. All right, no problem. Let me go ship it to you on alt. And I had an invalid balance. So I'm like, oh, that's annoying. I put money in the account. I'll put more in. Wait a couple days because they have to fill it. Try and ship it again. Oh, sorry, your balance is unavailable. I emailed alt. Yep, you have to make sure your balance covers your vaulting fee or exporting fee or whatever it was called. So basically, it took 2 weeks for me to add the money into the account that I already had to shovel his card. So, oops.
Why? What was? Did you just not
I'm
have any
dumb, I
money in
guess. I
there, or
don't
was
know.
it like fucked up?
I fucked up, but like they should have made it more explicitly clear because like in my balance it said I had enough to ship the item after paying for the item. So,
Oh,
oops.
I gotcha.
I made the mistake. It's on me, but like it's
Still,
funnier
yeah.
that way where I just
You know, I haven't bid on alt auctions in a long time.
their new auction is actually loaded from what
Oh, they
Lucas
have
said to
great
us.
stuff. They go so strong. It's like, I mean, I know you've won some things that you've done well on, but it's like
Correct.
for me in like closer to like $5,000 to $2,000 range, like everything goes really strong.
Dude, the O4 limited logos LeBron that they have on alt right now is fucking wild.
Is it just a nice patch?
Oh, it's gorgeous, dude. It's like a 3-color, like of like the Cavs end of the logo. It's like the S. It's
Is
beautiful.
'04 the silver one, or is that '05, '06?
Is I would call that silver. Yeah.
Like with the, you know what I'm talking about? The one like
I can pull it up on the screen. Give
Staten
me 2
had?
seconds. Here,
Okay.
Kai, talk, and I'll pull up Alt.
Yeah. Alt's great unless they're paying you 50% of comps. But yeah,
Oops, what are you talking about, Kai? They're our best friends. Did you know, I applied to work for Alt. Fun fact. Did you know that?
like recently or when you were telling me about it before?
Well, recently was a
Like
couple weeks
like a
ago.
long time ago.
It was a couple weeks ago.
Okay. I did not know that, no.
I was gonna try and be their content marketer, and they
Interesting.
did not hire me, which is fine.
Damn.
I don't need you anyway. Alt, damn you! Please hire me if you pay me a ton of money so I can buy these beautiful limited logo LeBrons.
That
And
card is sick.
yeah, this is a gorgeous card, man.
9.5 too. That's crazy.
Value of 52 to 85, which means it's gonna go for like 30K. Oops, I mean,
There's no way the last one that sold was in 2018.
yeah, it's a 9.5. It's pop too.
Oh, they have it. It's filtered by grade as well. Okay.
Yeah, no, this is
I haven't
actually
even
pretty
used
dope.
their platform in so long, honestly. I
I,
haven't even
I I
card
enjoy it.
buyer.
This will go expensive. Like this is just
You
amazing.
know, they used to have that stupid drop down box. I'm glad
That
they
drop
fixed
down
it.
fucking sucked. I agree with
It was
you.
awful.
How many items are here?
They usually have like 8 pages
Yeah.
from what I remember.
Tiger 9510. That's pretty dope.
I wonder what that tray goes for.
Oh, the orange. I mean, it's gonna get showed
Yeah,
obviously and get relisted 18 times.
that's
So
true.
yeah.
So they don't have anything in place anymore for non-payments, right? Like you don't even have to have money in your account anymore
Dude,
to
this is
bid,
only
right?
3 pages of stuff. We can go through the entire alt thing. It's it's so tiny this
Yeah.
time. And Lucas
Did
was
you hear
right.
me? You don't have to have money in your account to bid, right?
For items under 50 grand. So theoretically, you would
So
need
for
to
everything, basically.
yeah, basically everything at this moment. Pretty crazy. I guess we could look
One
at
here.
Golden's weekly too, but like I don't really care. Like
Yeah.
I don't like bidding on Golden, TBH.
Nah, don't show Golden's weekly. I've got some sleepers on there I'm bidding on.
All right, that's fine. I mean, you can tell me your user experience with it then, because
This is the first time I've ever bid on it. I think
well,
it's
I
the
think it's the
first week
first time
it's
they're
like the
running it, so
thing.
that's
Yeah.
exactly it, Kai. So tell me
I
how it
mean,
goes.
it okay. So far, I mean, it's just the same thing as the regular ones.
Oh, this hardware is sick.
Um,
That's cool. A
that
dope
is
patch.
sick. Is that even an auto or is it literally just a
No, it's just a
patch?
patch.
Why is that so much money? Am I missing something?
240. I mean, it's just a logo patch.
It's literally just is it even game use?
It's rookie, so maybe.
Am I tripping? I feel like that's way too much for that.
All right, well, fucking, I can't flip it over. It is game used. Nice. All right.
Makes it a little better. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. What else is over here? Oh my god, Kyler. Dude, Kyler could be a I think I said this last week too. Kyler could be a buy if you are willing to.
Well, yeah. If you're willing to, I don't even. He'll probably come back
There's so much
mid-season
Kyler.
next year.
There's
That's
so much
such bad
Kyler
timing
here.
by whoever sent. I bet the people sent this like right before he tore his ACL.
Dude, this person's fucked. That's so bad.
That's so tough. Unless
Just
they're
watch all
clearing it out
these.
after he tore it, but that's so rough.
All right, hell.
That Trout variation's pretty cool.
Dude.
That card,
$2,000 in
yeah, I was gonna say that
January.
card used to be a couple grand. Yeah.
Wow. Hang on.
No, there's no way that eBay comp.
I just put a bid.
Did you actually?
Oh yeah, I just put a bid on screen.
What'd you bid? I didn't see it.
229.
Okay, you're
Yeah,
not gonna win that.
Yeah, I'm gonna win. Big. Oh, all right.
I've been getting into those tops variations and stuff.
That's a pretty card. It is. It is so funny when you win stuff on alt or golden or PWCC or whatever, and people are like, "Yeah, last comp is this." Like, yeah, I know. I won it.
I bought it, yeah.
I said the same thing to Mikey, who we have to get on this podcast at some point. He and I have both had issues with suffering from success. That's
literally the worst thing ever.
It is. It's a big pain in the ass because, like, all right, yeah, I know what the comp is. I said it. I'm sorry that it went lower than you thought. You should pay me more.
Do you think it's a better thing that all these places have all these comps now, or do you think it not even just like for your own gain necessarily, but do you think it was better before or now?
I think it's better with the comp. Hang on, let me remove the screen first. I think it's better to have this comps and this information available because there are some slimy motherfuckers out there who will take advantage of you, whether you're a new collector or someone who's not as knowledgeable or both. I think that for that reason, it's good to have this information out there. Yeah, it kind of sucks. It's annoying when like, oh yeah, I know the last comp is 5K and I'm asking 6,500, but like I won it for 5K. I'm sorry. Other of their sales are 7 grand or whatever. Oops.
Yeah.
But it's better that the comps exist so the person can ask 12.5 on it and the last sell is $4,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
It's just wild. I don't know. I mean, I think information is good when used properly, but also let's call it what it is, Kai. You're a businessman. You can spin numbers however you want to fit your agenda. Because I do that. Because I do that in my
Yeah.
job.
If you don't do that, you're kind of just stupid.
Yeah, exactly. I use that information in my real life job and in trading cards because I work with data. And data is whatever you present it to be. Because even though numbers never lie, the person giving you the numbers does.
That's what a quote.
It's a good. It's true though. It's a little underhanded.
We got to make shirts with that.
I don't, dude. I'm all right. Cool. Just put the Wolf of Wall Street guy on there. Jordan Belford.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And we get sued. That's fine. Yeah.
Brock Purdy. You want to touch on that, or is that
should buy my Spectra case before I end up ripping it, or
that'll not be happening?
Damn it! I don't want to rip it either, though. But like, I'm already bored of
There's
owning
got to
it.
be
3
someone
hours.
will buy it.
I know. I put it on Facebook. I put it on Facebook, and Mikey texted me about it. He wants to trade for it, but like, I don't want to trade.
Like our Mikey?
Yeah, our Mikey's cards, our friend.
Why would he want that?
Because it's more liquid than whatever he was trying to trade me. Because he bought something.
A 2022 Spectra case.
He bought something on Golden, or Alt, or one of those auction houses, and said, "Here, David, you take this." And I'm like, I don't want it. And I think that was his plan.
What was it?
It was a MJ Auto, but it was a sticker. Like, it's a great card. I'd love to own it. But
so he paid for that and he's just trying to swap it for the case.
Basically, yeah.
Gotcha.
Which is smart idea, but I just don't want it.
Did you just trade like a big card or something for all that wax? Or like
so I got it from Garrett. Garrett, also fantastic guy. We'll take care of you at any high-end deal if you ever do them with him. And he like sent me like a couple of packs of like Topps Chrome Silver to rip and just like some random small stuff. So like, dude, always will take care of you in a high-end deal. I basically traded him my Giannis Prism Rookie Auto PSA 10 and a John Morant Immaculate RPA that I won on Alt Golden.
Oh yeah.
PWCC, I lied. Took me 3 times to get to the right one. And I got back the Spectra case, some 2013 SP Authentic boxes, some Bowman Light boxes, which are like $100 each. I ripped one during my lunch and pulled garbage. And I'm like, why did I do that? I ripped, just burn $100. So, all right, that's cool. Yeah, my favorite thing to do. It was fun, but hopefully I can move that Spectra case and not rip it because I will do it because I'm a crackhead when it comes to wax.
That's why I can't have wax.
I can't do it. I have to put it away. I'm a crackhead. I will rip every piece of wax.
I literally just will never deal for wax because I know I'll open it.
Yep, that's the concern. So I had to make sure I opened something trash so I wouldn't open everything else.
Get your fix in.
No, literally though, like that's actually what it is.
Oh
man, this episode's gonna make me look so good. I'm so happy.
Anything else?
No, listen, I think we're good. So you got some interesting clips to go work on. I have some explaining to do eventually. And yeah, thank you guys for listening or watching if you made it this far. We got to get some guest stars on here again soon. It's been a little bit since we had someone on, and the original idea was going to be like every 5 to 10 episodes. So maybe we start to plan out who we want to invite for future episodes.
Yeah, if you guys have anyone in mind that you'd like to see, just let us know.
Yeah, comments. No sexual tension, though. I promise. That's not going to happen.
Nope.
All right. Well, that's how I'm ending the episode. I got nothing else to say.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We will see you next week. Peace.